Hi friends, how are you? I warmly welcome all of you guys to today's our class. Today I'm going to take about mode and modality. Come, let's start it.
Hi friends, I am Rifna. Welcome to my seminar. In this session, we discussed about the topic mode and modality. Let us start the discussion of mode. The term mode is traditionally restricted to a category expressed in verbal morphology. Mode is a grammatical notion, whereas modality is a semantic notion. Traditionally, modality is said to be implemented grammatically through three modes, namely indicative, imperative, and subjective mode. These three modes are then implemented as verb. First one, indicative mode. In English, the basic pattern of having a subject go before a verb, usually express a statement, is called indicative mood. The indicative is used in sentences or clauses that are typically used to make factual statement. As in this example, the sunrise at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Here we have a present tense third person singular s ending on the verb rise. Traditionally, this is said to show indicative mood. The second one, imperative mode. The imperative mode gives commands as the term might suggest. The imperative mood is described as the form of a verb that is normally used in the directing or commanding people to do something. For example, leave your coat in the hallway, please. Give me that. Third one, subjective mood. This mood used for verbs that express hypothetical actions like wishes or desires. The subjective mood is traditionally seen as the form of a verb that it is used to speak about hypothetical, desirable or necessary situations. For example, it is important that she be informed of the changes. I wish it was easier. I had loved a holiday. The subjective mood is used to express actions, conditions, or situations that are unreal, imaginary, or hypothetical. The subjective is usually found in complex sentences. The another one, the interrogative mood. The interrogative mood is a form of a verb that is supplied to ask questions. For example, what is your opinion about it? Did you do the assignment? Are you serious? So, thank you for you. Let me welcome Shahba to handle the next session.
Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about modality. Rifna gave you an idea of mood, and let us go to our topic. The term modality refers to a speaker or a writer's attitude towards or point of view about a state of the world. Models are used to say whether something is real or true, or whether it is the subject of speculation rather than definite knowledge. For example, Mary is in the office now. It indicates certainty. And another one is Mary may be in the office now. It indicates possibility rather than certainty. And another one is Mary should be in the office now. Clearly, it indicates what is desirable or necessary. All the above statements carry modality. In other words, the speaker's point of view. Actually, modal verbs create the modality. Modal verbs play an important role in the expression of modality. Let's take it. We know that the main modal verbs are can, could, may, might, will, shall, would, should, must. There are semi-modal verbs also that are similar to modal verbs. They are desire, need, ought to, and used to. There are several other verbs that express modal meaning. Example: hope, manage, suppose, seem, wish, want. And modal phrases like had better, be meant to, be obliged to, be supposed, etc. Modality can also be expressed by means of adjectives, adverbs, and noun. And this is the role of modal verbs. And next, we are going to discuss about features of modal verbs in general. Then, modal verbs have only one form and do not take inflections for person or number. And next, they do not have infinitive forms either with, to, or without. They do not have ing form and ed participle form and lacks progressive and perfect forms. Modal verb cannot be used as lexical or main verbs. And this is all about my topic. I hope you can catch it. The next part Shahrana will take for you. Thank you all.
Hi friends, I am Shahrana. I am going to discuss about the types of modality. Shahba already discussed the topic modality, and I think you all get an idea about modality. So let's start. Here we are discussing the three types of modality. The first one is epistemic modality. The term epistemic is derived from the Greek word epistemikos. It means knowledge. Epistemic modality expresses possibility and prediction. Epistemic modality may be defined as the use of modality which is based on speaker's evaluation and judgment in relation to the degree of confidence of the knowledge on a proposition. John may be in his office. Mary might be at home now are the examples of epistemic modality. The second type of modality is deontic modality. The term deontic is derived from the Greek word deon. It means which is obligatory. Deontic modality indicates obligation and permission. It indicates how the world ought to be according to certain norms, expectations, speaker desire, etc. John shall have the book tomorrow is an example of deontic modality. And the third type of modality is dynamic modality. Dynamic modality deals with ability and willingness coming internally from the speakers themselves. The dynamic modality concerns the properties and dispositions of persons referred to in the clause, especially by the subject. Heba can run fast. Ria will let you stay are the examples of dynamic modality. That's all about types of modality. Thank you.
Hi friends, today we discuss about the modality, and Shahrana will take the first part of the modality and I will take the second part of the modality. And firstly, here modality as divided into so many parts like can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, and must, need, ought to, and used to. Today I take these portions, and firstly I take can and could. Now we take it can. Here can is used to seek permissions or the negative, in the sense, for an example, for seeking permission, we can to seeking any one of the permissions, we can ask to the can I enter this room. And for negative sense, it is in the negative sense, for you cannot have this money to yourself. And second one, can is also used to indicate the ability and possibility. For an example, can you draw this picture once more? It isn't the possibility of it isn't the ability case. Okay, then the possibility case, the news cannot be true. This is the possibility case. And we discussed about could be used to indicate possibility or weak probability. Now it is the example, they could be at home now. And second one, if could is used in making suggestions. In the case of the making suggestions, we give an example, we could meet at the weekend. And second one, if in the case of permission, polite request, permission or polite request could be used like could you please me cross the road. Okay, then could is used in as the past tense of can. Now we could is used as the past tense of can. For the example, when I was a kid I could not dance well. When I was kid I could not dance well. This is the example for could is used as the past tense of the can. Okay, then we take about the may and might. Now we first take it may. We all know may can be used to ask for, grant and refuse the permissions. Okay, now for an example, you may get inside, and now you may not go inside that room. First example is this, you may get inside, and second one is no, you may not go inside that room. Okay, in the case of probability case, then we speak about example, you may receive the parcel tomorrow. And to expression or a wish, we just tell is may God bless you, like etc. Then might, and we discuss about might is commonly used to express probability and possibility. Might is commonly used to express probability or possibility, like example tara, they might be at home, and might denotes extra politeness in certain contents. Example, might I speak to Mr. John, just a certain politeness like this. Might is also used to denote the past tense of may. Mrs. Frederick might be expecting her grandchild. This is the example of expectations denotes like that, past tense of may, like that. And we just take about the will and would. First we take will. Will is most frequently used to refer future time and predictions. Will is mostly we use it to predictions and the refer of the future times. Example like he will arrive in the evening. And next one is to make requests and inventions will is often used with you. And example is, will you bring me a cup of coffee please? Will you join us for the dinner tonight? This too is the example for first we the invention of the will and often to that you. Then will is also used to form questions. And will you come along with me to meet him? Will you come along with me to meet him? That is example. And will is also used as a tag questions attached to an assignment, to a statement that uses want. Example, you won't do it again, will you? Then we talk about the would. And requests are more polite if they are with I would. Requests are more polite if they are with I would. Example, would you bring me some water please? Would you bring me some water please? And now we discuss about shall and should. Then first is shall. We use shall I to make offers and suggestions. Example, shall I help you with that offer? Shall we begin dinner? Then in the case of shall I help you with that is the offer ആണ്. That is an offer, and shall we begin with dinner? That's a suggestion. Then shall is used in sent and third person. Shall is used in sent and third person to express possibility. Example, he shall meet in the evening. And shall is used to express command. Shall be used to express a commanding. Like an example, I will give you an example. This is he shall got once, and shall is do what I say. She shall do what I say. This is the two examples. And now, shall is used to denote a future action. To denote a future action, how to shall use? Like I shall be present there by 6 p.m. I shall be present by 6 p.m. Then let's use as shall we in the question tag. Shall in the question tag, how can we use? Like let's have a cup of tea. Shall we? And she have a cup of tea. Shall we? This is the example of shall when we use in the question tag. Okay, and next example, shall let us go for a walk. Shall we? Let's go for a walk. Shall we? Then we discuss about the should. Should is to indicate what the speaker considered to be the idea or desired state of affairs. Example, she should be wearing a mask while traveling. She should be wearing a mask while traveling. Then should she often use it to express duty, need, or obligation. Example, you should consult a doctor immediately. This is the clearly example of obligations or the express duty. Then next example is we should respect the elders. Should also express its probability. Example is she should reach his office now. Then in spoken English, should is contracted to the, and should is contracted to should not. Example, I should like, I had like, I should like, or I had like. Must. Then we discuss about the must. Must is to speculate about the truth of something. Example, she must be mad, and must be some truth in that. Okay. Must is used for expressing obligation. To expressing obligation. Example, I must finish this work today. I must remember to call her on her birthday. These are the two examples. And it is also used to express polite inventions. Example, you must come along and have a dinner with us. You must come along and have a dinner with us. And next one is must is also used to talk about prohibitions. Example, you must not smoke here. And next one is mobile phones must be switched off before the meeting starts.
Hope you all understood the topic we took up.